welcome to my New Year's video. I hope you all out there have had a fantastic holiday season with your loved ones, and I hope that everything is auspicious for you all out there. I wanted to just sort of do a video to, sort of recap this year, especially with the Dharma Wheel Hermitage. Talk about what we accomplished and where we're going to be going next. And we have good news and we have some bad news, or at least we'll have some trying times ahead. I think the first thing I want to start with talking about is that ultimately, when you go to the website, www.dharmawheelhermitage.org, it all looks, very nice. It's a great website, lots of pictures, lots of information. But it's important to understand, I don't have any sort of ecclesiastical backing. I don't have any, there's no huge monastic institutions that are funding this. I don't have any income of my own other than a little bit of content creation, and I don't have any family money. I don't have any personal inheritance or trust funds or anything like that. I was a homeless man for many years when I came up with this idea to try to do this project, and I've done it so far with the generosity of all of you out there, and that's it. When we began the idea of this project, me and the boys were homeless, and I think a lot of you who are my fans and my supporters know that. You've seen my videos. We lived out of a garden wagon, the Terrapin Flyer, we called it, with a very nice but very small portable camping kit built onto the back of it, and a little basket in the front for Xavier, my little Chihuahua, and he rode there in the front. And we pulled that wagon around for 3 years in Northern California, and the last year of it working on this project to try to create the Dharma Wheel Hermitage. We bought land, again, through a combination of your generosity and our hard work. And this is the point where I want to point out that when we were living that homeless lifestyle, we didn't beg, we didn't fly any signs or spare change or anything. We went out every day and we tried to make people happy, we tried to make people smile, and if nothing else, if we could do nothing else, then we cleaned up a little bit. The world is always a messy place, and cleaning it up always helps bring a smile to people's faces even after you're gone from that space. And people saw us living our life that way, and were very generous with us. And in fact, our living became simply going out every day. And we made a decent living doing that. We survived, we paid our bills, we, stuff like my mobile phone and whatnot. And we ate well, and we lived out. We lived rough out of the kit that I pulled around in the wagon. And you can see the videos in my channel of us doing this. Then the opportunity came to purchase land and try to make the Dharma Wheel Hermitage a reality. And we did that. We purchased the land. We put together a very nice homesteading kit with a generous help from all of you out there, along with our hard work. And we went up there and we created an incredible base camp. We're going to look in a minute at a slideshow of pretty much all the media that we've taken since we settled on October 5th, settled on the land. Down in the cities and living the homeless life, we lived okay. We were, again, able to take care of ourselves, and we were able to generate enough income to get by, and also to prosper a little bit, to try to do some things for ourselves, like do some video, do some social media, present a YouTube channel, that sort of thing. since I moved up to the Hermitage, and when I moved to the Hermitage, I anticipated that I would be able to get by with maybe my book, not so much. I've sold like 20 copies, okay, um, or content creation on YouTube, and I think that eventually, by the by, that will be able to pay the Hermitage bills. But this holiday season was a hard lesson in the fact that it's not going to right now, not as things stand. Um, and I don't want to give up the Hermitage. We've worked too hard on it. I've spent too much time, too much of my own money and your money to build the base camp out and to establish ourselves there. So we're not going to give up the Hermitage. But what I do need to do is, in order to save the Hermitage, I may have to leave the Hermitage. And we will travel to nearby, probably to Oregon. We'll put the Terrapin Fire back together again, and begin living out of it for the spring and the summer, essentially re-embracing the homeless life, essentially to pay the bills. Um, it's a sad fact, but it seems that the only way right now that I can pay for the Hermitage is to leave it for a while. We'll have folks here in Alturas who will go and check on the property for us. Um, we're going to actually leave little Xavier behind, um, and he's going to stay with family. And then we're going to take Xander. I'm going to take Xander and my puppy, my new puppy Bruno, and we will go out and do what we did for so many years, which is to live rough, live out of the wagon, and to travel around having compassion on everybody that we meet and trying to desperately just to bring a smile to their face, if nothing else, and being there for people. And that was, as I said, that was our job for a long time. And then we will use the proceeds from that lifestyle, um, to continue to pay the bills on the Hermitage, which we can't right now. Um, there's still a couple of days to turn this around and make this so that we don't have to leave the Hermitage. I obviously would much prefer to stay on the Hermitage, to continue to work on it, to continue to build it out, um, and to continue to try to build up the channels and the content, and to come. I would like to write my second book. Who knows? Maybe the second one will be the charm, right? But I do have a second book in the works, and I'd like to finish it. But I can't do that at the present moment. As things stand right now, as we approach New Year's Eve, the plan is to rebuild the homeless wagon and to travel to Oregon and spend that time, spend spring and summer at least out, living rough and saving up money and paying the bills for the Hermitage. The Hermitage is not in any danger of losing it. It's just whether or not I can remain on the Hermitage and pay the bills, and I can't see a way to do that without some emergency help. If in the next 48 hours we could raise about $500 in the winter appeal, and the link is in the description below. If we could put about 500 in the next 48 hours into the winter appeal, it would be possible, I believe, to be able to remain on the Hermitage property, continue to create content, and continue to build to a point which I believe I will be able to maintain this financially. So I can only just urge my supporters. We have a couple of perks. We still are accepting founder status for the Hermitage. There's a lot of different benefits that come with founder status, including being on a plaque. There's our puppy Bruno making an appearance. Hey, Bruno. But it would include having your name on a plaque in the prayer hall, also on various monuments and whatnot that we will build inside the time capsules that we want to bury on the Hermitage property. Lifetime camping for free on the Hermitage property, for the purpose of retreat, and also you can have your ashes or some part of your ashes sent to the Hermitage property, and we will disperse them on the property for you. So there's others maybe that I don't remember, but there's a list of them by the by on the website. Um, so there's still founder status open. I'm still open to signing copies of my book and sending that out for. And those perks are on the page. You can see them. Just make sure you claim them when you're making your donation. We'd love to see a couple more founders before I close that program out. So that now would be a great time to become a founder, because that would really put us close to where we need to be. Um, so again, we need to raise $500 in 48 hours. If not, I will again rebuild the homeless wagon that I lived out of for so many years. We will go to Oregon, and we will save the Hermitage, and we will prosper. I'm going to close out with a slideshow uh, of every bit of media basically we've taken since October 5th until now. I wish you all a happy New Year. I hope that things are prosperous and auspicious in the new year to come. And please, if you can, spare a prayer for me and the boys.